Right. So guys, I have been thinking, and I've discussed it with a lot of you already. I think that the 7 days that I server is just not running the way I would like it to run. And a lot of you guys have had issues with it, and there's been lag, and some of you guys are okay with it and can deal with it, but you guys deserve the best that we can provide. So, back in the day, I used to host a dedicated server. This dedicated server was very powerful. It could run multiple things, but that was in South Africa. So now we're planning on getting a dedicated hosted machine in the UK. It's going to cost, I think, around the first month is going to be $250 something, and then the next month will be $200 a month. Sounds rough. It is, but it is a very powerful machine. You can do a lot with it, and your performance in 7 Days to Die should increase. However, if it doesn't increase and it's still bad, then we will close the server down and then go back to where we were, so we don't pay so much. The mission that comes with the dedicated server is a lot more maintenance. You don't get the program that Ping Perfect and Logic servers provide, which means it's very easy to click start and all that. So RJ is going to have to take over on all that construction stuff, RJ. So you'll have to set up the servers, set up everything, add mods, update mods, things like that.
Okay.
There's also good news as well. If we manage to get this thing working, I made a little bit of a list here. So 7 Days to Die, there is a special bot. It's called Botman. In the past, I've had it before. It's a very nice bot. I can get the guy that I know, the owner who made the bot. I can get him to run it on our server. However, I wouldn't really want to run it on the current server that we got right now because it's such a mess in terms of lag. But this bot can do a hell of a lot. And the bot is all server side and not client side, which doesn't affect you in any way. You don't have to download anything. You just join the server. I'm going to tell you what this bot does. Okay. This bot will give you notifications when the server is about to restart or change or go offline, which is what everyone wants. I think RJ can agree. Everybody wants a little notification telling them the server is going to be restarting. It'll also alert you when Horde Night's about to approach. You can then also set your /home and your set home, which means, let's say you are at your base and you don't like walking back to your base. You can then type in the chat /home, and then it will teleport you straight to your base for a virtual currency that you can earn in game. You kill zombies and you get virtual currency in game. That's how it works. So yeah, you can just get teleported back and forth to your base if you got the money to do so. And it's kind of nice.
You also have color chats, right? I believe.
Yes. So yeah, that's right. Thank you. I actually
That's
never had
so
that on my
colourful.
list. Yeah, so the chats are colorful, and everybody will have a rank in the server as well. So people everyone's a patron on there, most people. You'll all have a color. Yeah, James?
So if you have most amounts of zombies, will probably be ranked.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, we can
The
do that as
zombie
well. Yeah,
killer.
yeah, we can set it up like the zombie killer. You know, if you killed so many down, if you like the most kills on the server, you'll have like a special rank or something.
Yeah.
There's also a virtual shop as well. So you type in /shop in the chat, and that'll open up a special list of what you can buy that we can add. We can add like stuff in the creative menu, motorbike. If you've got enough zombie points to buy a motorbike, you can buy a motorbike.
Yeah.
Things like that.
You also get daily, let's say, if you log onto the game and you get your daily, like you used to get like a daily, I believe it was a bandage and food.
Do you remember?
Well.
Was that a thing?
I think it came in daily as well. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised. That bot is quite nice.
Yeah. And then, because I remember always used to buy food and bandages when I was like in a pickle, like if I needed.
Yeah, that's the virtual shop, so you can just quickly buy it
Yes.
off wherever you are if you have the points to do it. It was actually very nice.
It was very handy. It was flippin' handy.
It was super handy. Another thing this bot can do. Now, this is very controversial, and a lot of people do not like this, and it's totally understandable. But if we organize it properly, it might be a bit of fun. This bot can set zones. So this bot...
Like PvP zones.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So this bot can say, okay, so the desert or the wasteland is a PvP zone only. So as soon as you walk into the wasteland, it'll ping you and say, listen, you are in a PvP zone, you can now die from other players. But as soon as you walk out of it, it'll ping you and say, hey, you're now in a PvE zone, you won't die from other players. This is to encourage a little bit of action in a small area on the map. You do not have to go there, you do not have to take part in the PvP at all. Your bases are 100% protected in the PvE zone. It's actually not a land claim block. It is a special thing that you can activate at your base, and it literally it turns your base into like a trader protected area from players, not zombies. You're not going to get that lucky. But yeah, so the PvP zones is a thing. So you'll have a PvE. There'll be more PvE zones than PvP zones. I think the wasteland is a good place to, or a specific side of the map that is a wasteland. That will be PvP zone, and then I think we'll put a lot of high-end loot in the PvP zone, encouraging players to go in there. But I won't, like, there won't be anything specific in there that you need to go in there. So yeah. The thing is, with this dedicated server, we're hoping to get much better performance from everything. So players should be walking around a little bit easier. You're not going to have issues when someone logs into the server and it's lagging out. That's the current issue we have right now. The dedicated server where you want to get, I think it has like 120 gigs of RAM or something crazy. Yeah, RJ.
It is a lot. I mean, I'm
It is a hell of a
thinking
lot, yeah.
about how many servers we could potentially host
So
from
many.
one dedicated
So many.
computer.
Yeah.
I mean, if let's say if someone from the Reach Gaming community or Patreon wants to host a game-specific server, like what's that one game called? Valheim.
Valheim. Yeah, we can do that as well.
We can
That's the
also
thing.
do that
Yeah.
as well. What else? Not Ark.
You could, okay, with a powerful
I'm
server
thinking
like
about
that,
that
you
because
could do Ark. You could do Ark on a powerful
I
server like that.
remember you guys like years ago used to host an Ark server from a dedicated.
We did, and it worked really well.
It did,
Really,
but
really
it
well.
also the dedicated server was too small. It
was.
actually took a lot of resources.
It did,
It
yeah.
was hogging a lot of resources that was meant to be used for the 7 Days to Die. So when the 7 Days to Die server was lagging, you could blame the Ark players. And
Yes.
we were like hashing out on that because Ark was then a public server. It was a massive public server.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. Another thing I wanted to discuss, I was actually thinking if I should discuss this with you, but I like to be transparent with you guys. For the longest time, the moderators on the channel, which is Flygirl, Dante, those are the two moderators we have, they have not been paid for their services. Okay. They haven't been paid, they do this for free, and obviously that's been great and all, but it has come time to, it's not fair to make them work for free. So they are going to get paid a monthly income. Both of them. The one obviously didn't really want that, so he wants something else, but that's fine, I can do that. But yeah, so our moderators are now getting paid. It's not much, it's a little bit to get started, and I think they deserve it, especially Flygirl. They really are on the server helping out players as much as they can, and I think that's important. I think that they deserve something as a return. I've actually told, because some of the moderators are actually Patreons, I've told them please to cancel their Patreons and become a fully permanent staff member in Reach Gaming as a job. It's not much, but it's something. But I think in the future, when the channel grows as well, they're looking at much higher digits.
Not a full-time job though.
Eventually it
Not
will be,
something-
RJ. Eventually it will be.
One day, like
Yeah,
very
once the
well,
channel
not
grows.
Right now.
No, not right now. But once the channel grows, yeah, we're looking at moderators having full-time jobs with us, which is actually amazing. So we have a question here. Would it be all deserts as an example, as a specific desert or area of the desert? Well, the PvP zones, it just depends how we want to play it. We can build a biome in the corner of the map and just have it there specifically. It could be any biome, it doesn't have to be a specific biome. Sounds awesome. Will I be taxed? Yes, you will be taxed. By the way, there will be a tax system in that bot. I forgot to mention that. So every like hour you'll be taxed like 1 coin or something. But yeah, you know, it is what it is, guys. I mean, come on, right? Tax is very popular in the world. Everybody's doing it. It must be fun. Okay, with PvP zones, as long as it's not an entire wasteland. No. So I know that some people like a specific wasteland to live in as a PvP. So let's say we have 2 wasteland zones. One will be that side, one will be that side. One will be PvP and one will be PvE. It's simple as that. Or maybe a seasonal server again. Yes,
We
so
could actually also do that.
we
So if
can
you want
do
to
that,
host 2 servers, one could be the main server, and then one could be the seasonal one. I think the seasonal one could also be a smaller size of a server in
Yes.
terms of players.
Yeah.
It depends on how many people are interested in that, and then would allocate X amounts of players to that server. However, if it's a big seasonal and everyone's interested, then I just up the space of the patrons, the players on
Yes.
that server.
That's another thing, guys. Right now, with the servers we got, we're paying per slot. So things like $1 per slot, which is not the greatest. I think it's
We are
150
paying per
something. Yeah.
slot. It's actually it's either 10 or 20 or 15 or 20.
Yes.
So
You
every
can't
time
have
I
a
upgrade,
random
I
number.
add
Yeah.
5 slots. Yes, so
So it costs more every time we're upping the amount. And
yes.
I've noticed it's actually really great. Lately, the servers have been really popular. A lot of people coming. Conan's actually more popular than 7 Days to Die, but I think that's because 7 Days to Die is laggy. And not everyone wants to play on a laggy server. If the 7 Days to Die server was super smooth, which I think it will be on a dedicated server, simply because it has been done. There are servers on the server browser that have 40, 50 people playing. Don't ask me how, I don't know what they're doing, and I'm pretty sure it's a dedicated
Well, it's
server
likely it's a dedicated server.
that they're running
But
with a lot of
we're
RAM
gonna
and
put
whatnot.
that on a good test right now
Yeah.
and see how well it performs.
That's the plan. Yeah. Again, it is very, very pricey, and this is putting a dent in the bank account. I do not expect anybody to increase their Patreon ships. You do not have to. This is an idea to increase the amount of Patreons, not to let the current Patreons pay for something that's already there. You guys are doing a fantastic job. There's no need to increase your Patreon ship. This is all included with that. This is just to discuss with you the things we want to do. This is not to increase, to get you guys to do that, okay? I want you guys to know that. Some of you already have done that. But I want you to know you do not have to do that. And if you are in a very, very high tier Patreon, please drop it down. Make it easier for yourself. I don't want you guys to put yourself in a bad position where, it comes to a point where you have to drop at some point, if it's understandable. What else? Moderators are not getting paid. Server events will come and then follow after all that. Once the dedicated servers are running and things are smooth again, server events will follow. Fly Girl's got some stuff planned. I've got some stuff planned. And obviously all our streams will be situated on our dedicated 7 Days to Die server. Another thing is Conan Exiles, which is our other server we're hosting. That will also be moved to the dedicated server, that will perform even better as well. Another thing I was mentioning as well, we are paying per slot. Where the dedicated server is unlimited slots, which means we can have 60 players on the Conan if we really wanted to, which I don't recommend. But yeah, so we don't have to pay per slot anymore. We can have 18 players, 19 players, 20 players. We don't have to have a specific number. So yeah, that's the plan. That's what it is. Right now, the dedicated server that we've checked out, it's going to be $250 per month, as that you got to pay for the Windows key and the setup and all that stuff. And then they set it up. Don't know how long it takes. And then we can start getting going on moving the server files over. That's another thing you guys need to know as well. The server won't be wiped. You'll just have to change the IP, which I will announce when it comes time to. So you get to keep all your bases and everything.
And also the time that is going to be offline, because I would have to download the server files on my computer, and then I'll have to upload it, and then I have to set up the new server. I just hope I can do it. I've probably done this before, long time ago. When was the last time we actually worked on a dedicated server? This was back in 2000.
Back in when we had the World of Warcraft server, I think that's when we were working on it.
Well, that was 2016, right? Or 2017, I believe. One of those.
No, the World of Warcraft server, the Katza server that we had. Not too long ago.
No, not that. I meant the other
7
big
days.
one. Yes, the one for 7 days in
That was long
Arkansas.
ago, yeah.
Yes, that was a very long time ago. So I hope I still have the moves to do so, because Steam, what is it? It's the Steam workshop thing that you have to download, and then You got to type and everything has to be done manually.
Yeah, that's the thing with that though, as well as Conan Exiles. I don't know how we're gonna work that out. I'm sure there's a mod launcher for it, a mod manager. Sorry. Yeah, so that's great, guys. It's gonna make things nicer. At least I hope so. Again, we're gonna have to test this out. There's only one way to test this out. There is a chance that this won't work, and 7 Days to Die is just a piece of poop, and it just doesn't want to run properly. I just really want you guys to have a good experience, as well as us when we live stream. It's not nice to have a laggy live stream or people having problems connecting to the server. And as we've noticed recently, I have no idea why, there is a lot of popularity going on with the channel.
I've got a question.
What's that?
Okay, this is just for as an interest, because that let's say for example, if I wanted to pop up a temporary weekend server on the dedicated just for the weekend alone, it could be
Yes.
any game. Can we have that running for the patrons as well? And
course.
let's say for an example, prop hunt on Gary's mod, and
Yeah.
I love that game. I will do it again. And what if a patron wants to, a very well-known patron wants to do a server just for the weekend? We can also set up for them. Can that also be possible?
I don't see why not. As long as it's not extensive, it's not a problem. I think
And,
that
and
if,
as long
yeah.
as there's also interest around that game
Yeah.
that they want to
Yeah.
join, and then we could actually do it for them.
Yeah,
That way,
so there's
the-
a lot.
the
Yeah,
interest
there's
would
a
actually
lot.
stay.
There's a lot of power in this dedicated server. Like 100 and something gigs. That's insane. That's way too much than we need. But the problem is I can't find anything cheaper or anything that is above that price range that you're gonna get. That's a lot of power. It's a lot of force. It's actually really good. And the more power we have for 7 Days to Die, hey, why not? If we can allocate like 30 gigs of RAM to a 7 Days to Die server, that's gonna be insane.
Going to be
You can
more
imagine.
than enough.
Yeah, that's going to be more than enough. But the more players you have on the server, the more straining it is. And this also opens up the question to, hey, because this server is so powerful, does this mean Undead Legacy is a possibility on a server?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Exactly.
Maybe.
So we're looking at maybe mods. I mean, I know somebody who uses this as a server. His name is Span. He's another YouTuber. He's got about 30,000 subscribers. He plays Empyrean and Darkness Falls, and he hosts a Darkness Falls server on that server, and he hosts an Empyrean server on that server. And both of those things are very straining on the server. So if he can do it, pretty sure we can.
Yeah,
So-
and also it would be very nice for players who wants to play an Undead Legacy server and have a lot of people.
Yeah.
I remember we had an Undead Legacy server running, and loads of people were interested in playing together because that
Was,
game, that mod is grindy as F. That's the best way to describe it. But it's fun.
You swear?
So, no, I didn't. I used a letter. So it would be a nice test to actually put in Undead Legacy again and see how many players we could have in this time.
Yeah, I know. That's the power of the server is insane. Now the only limitation would be the server of 7 Days to Die. How like there's something actually wrong with the game itself, then there'll be a problem. But like I said, I've seen servers out there that have like 40 plus players on, which is insane, and I can't wrap my mind around. The only thing I can think of is the dedicated server.
I want to see how well Horde Night runs with 40 players.
Yeah, imagine that. Jeez.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll stress that. We'll stress test that when the time comes.
Yeah. And another thing I would like to talk about in future as well, I know this is also a little bit... I think when we have another server in future, I think we should downsize the map. I know that's a bit sad for some. I know you guys like big maps, but the smaller the map, the better performance everyone gets.
So like a 6K.
Yeah, like Navezgane. And it brings everybody together in some way. I mean, how many people actually go around the maps exploring? Maybe. Maybe you guys do. I don't know. But I think the smaller the map, the better. I can also put more attention in the map than a bigger map. I can do more things with that map. The smaller,
That GIF,
the better.
that squirrel poster, I need to actually scroll up that. I've been looking on that GIF now for like a minute. Come on.
Well, guys, so that is all we have. Yeah, dedicated server, 7 Days to Die bot man that will allow us to do a whole lot of things. Moderators are now getting paid for their efforts. Server events will come from me and Flying Girl. Yeah, and the streams will be continuing on the server. That's about it I have. Yes.
Any other questions? I'd love to have some
Questions?
questions.
Yeah, you can pop the questions in the Patreon squad chat, and I'll answer them. So, Flygirl, you can talk. You can actually talk. Yeah,
She can talk.
yeah. Open your mic. We want to hear you.
Hello, guys.
You sound very far. What's going on? Are you in the toilet?
No, I'm just speaking quietly.
Okay,
Hey,
that's much better.
Brad.
How's it?
I was just thinking. I was thinking we should do a house flip event because that is going quite well with the Patreons, and it also gives the Patreons a chance from what they're actually doing. So it's a bit of a change,
Yes.
and I have an idea of how we can implement it differently this time.
Well, then, yeah, we must come to me with that, and we can make a plan. We can do a house flipper event. But let's get the server going and see how it performs, and then we can decide on the events. That's the last thing we're going to start doing.
Okay.
Another thing I've been requested to do. I think the custom shops that I make with the creative stuff. I think we're going to get rid of that entirely, and we're going to add the mod that allows you to craft it.
I'm not 100% sure on that one, but it's up to you.
No, it's been requested by a few people.
Has it been requested?
Yeah.
What a shame. Put me out of the job. Well, damn.
Yeah. No. Actually, no. It doesn't fly. It doesn't, because you can still have a shop for players to sell their stuff.
I know. I was just being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself.
I've got an idea, right?
Go on.
This is for Mr. Reach to do,
Great.
but this is going to be very fun for the patrons. It's more like a challenge.
Okay.
So we need to come up with a map, open map, bare map, no town, right? And then Reach would spawn in one building or one house, right? And then that same house spawned in 20 times, right? And us as patrons will go in and we would flip that house. Okay, and have that town somewhere to go actually loot, or there would be suppliers ready to house flip that and make it look modern or different. So, and see how the patrons can come up house flipping these houses differently. Obviously, all of them are going to look the same.
This is exactly the same idea I had. Sorry to interrupt you there, but it's exactly the same idea I had.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. So house flip all the buildings that are the same. It's like all in one row, and then see how we can house flip.
Okay.
That. And each building is going to look very much different than when it first started.
Okay, I can see that happening. I can actually, that's a pretty cool idea. Like Squeal said in the chat, we can have a house flip server where there's like, I can just change the POIs around, but it'll usually be the same map. What I will do is I will have this pretty flat town, and there will be all the same POIs, and then obviously each patron will be assigned to their own house. There'll be enough space to put your land claim block down and keeping space between the houses so no one interrupts with your thing. And then what I will do is I'll make a massive mountain between the flat area and the town that you can go and loot to get things going. So there'll be a massive mountain, like a big wall, and you can go through that wall to get to the other side where you can do the looting and playing, and then you can bring the resources back from there to the town.
So it's going to look like a normal map, but there's going to be a flat area where those POIs are going to be there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you can house flip
I like
each
that.
one. Yeah.
I like that idea. I definitely like that.
Yeah, so you guys can see how much this brings into with the dedicated server. You can see.
Creativity. It's going to be much more creative. When you said smaller map, how large is the current map?
8K.
And we've
8K.
always been running an 8K map. Nothing bigger, nothing smaller. So now we're going to think of making it smaller, because the map is so vast, you're not going to find 20 people all in one like it's all scattered, but it's going to be hard and difficult to find all 20 people, for example, at the same time.
But hey,
making it smaller, that's probably going to be a bit better.
It's going to be a bit of a performance as well. Yeah, but again, this is not like the current server we have. That's going to stay for a while. I think that the current server we got, it's going to be around until Alpha 21 comes out. Cool. Depending on how, if there's any issues and bugs that pop up, because sometimes the 7 Days to Die servers, they can just flip and then it's over. But we'll see how long we can last this current server. We're not going to be wiping. We're not going to be changing anything. I will be putting stuff in place where I will go and clean up some sections of the map. By the way, that bot can actually do that. So if there is a section on the map someone's really destroyed,
A
you
region.
you can delete the region of that section and recreate it with the bot. So that's
Then I'll
amazing.
have to. I'm sorry to interrupt you again. Then I'll have to be you and I. One of us has to sit down, and so we can. One of you can teach me how to use it.
Yeah.
After
So
on
that's yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'll have to learn the bots as well. I
Yeah,
haven't
same as
used
us
the bot
because
in
I
a
haven't
long
used the
time.
bot in years.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. I have nothing else to add. That's the plan. That's what we're going to be doing. This has been recorded this entire time, and this will be uploaded if you want to re-listen to anything, and you can leave your replies and whatnot. Also, that's awesome, so you can fix up the server to make it last longer. Yes, so there's lots of possibilities with the dedicated server. Again, it is a lot more expensive, and it does put a dent into... it's
Will the
putting a
old
dent into
server
Patreon.
eventually be getting closed to stop people from going to the wrong server? Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Lajaro, that's a problem that we've been dealing with. It's actually kind of annoying, Lajaro, that because we keep shutting it down and stopping the auto restart, but it keeps restarting itself, and it keeps changing settings. It's very annoying to even shut that thing down.
Actually, I'm going to go to that being perfect now. Actually, tell
Yeah.
the server to actually stop closing before I'm being charged an extra month.
Yeah, so that'll be shut
Mistaken.
down. All the other ones will be shut down. This current server, once the dedicated server's up, will be moved to a different IP, which will be announced, and you'll have the details to it, of course.
Okay.
Again, the amount for Patreon to join the server is $1. By the way, you do not need to be any more than that. It's always probably going to stay like that. And
I'll ask you something.
in a second, if you want to bring a spouse, friend, kid, whoever, you can do so for free. Your friend, your spouse does not have to pay. Okay, this has always been a thing with me. I think it's fair enough, but please make sure your friend or spouse knows the rules, because I've had a couple of problems in the past where someone will invite their friend and this friend thinks, hey, free for all, and he goes and causes problems. So make sure he knows the rules, and make sure he knows this is a proper community and we're all together here. Yes, RJ.
Are they allowed to Patreon towards me if they want to join the server? Because, someone wanted a Patreon towards me, but, just to log into the server instead of Patreon towards you. Or do they have to go towards you?
Good
Just
question.
curious. Just curious.
It's a difficult question because I can't keep track of yours.
Because I'm with Pittsburgh actually upped his Patreon so that a friend that we
Yes,
met
okay.
on stream could
Okay.
actually be joined
Yeah,
in.
I
He would
think
actually
so.
forward the information
Okay.
to her.
Yes, so I think so. It's fine. All they have to do, because every Patreon who joins up, it joins Discord, and he wants details to things, he needs to show me that he's a Patreon as well. So RJ, you need to then post the server details on your Patreon as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
so that's fine. If
Cool.
you Patreon to watch RJ or me, it's the same. So you will get both access. So don't worry too much. But that doesn't mean go to RJ now. Come on. I'm watching you. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. That's all we got. Anything you would like to add, Fly?
Yes, I want to say thank you for all the hard work you guys do. We do appreciate it, and we see you struggling with it, so we thank you.
Yes, and I'm excited. It's going to be fun. There's lots of potential with the dedicated.
We've got lots of things coming for you people.
Yes. So yeah, and also the thing with the dedicated server, it encourages more Patreons. I've seen the potential. I've seen the amount of people who've come to me. Thank you so much for doing this and that and this. And I'm like, okay, that's really cool. People are quite happy with the server, and they just like to be included. They want a nice place to go and spend time. They don't want to have toxic community, someone breaking their stuff, and that's what we are here for, to try and ensure that you guys have a good time. I've had a few questions about asking me why the server is a $1 tier to get in, and they said it's a bit unfair and whatnot. You all know why. There are trolls out there, and when there's no lock on it for a price, we get big problems, and it's happened on Conan the other day as well. So because Conan is free, so there's been a couple of trolls who came on and caused some issues. So that just reminded me why we have a lock. A $1 lock, and honestly I don't think that's much. So yeah, Right. Anything you'd like to add, RJ?
I think what I will do is, if the server is lasting longer, I'm gonna have all the files that we had previously. That's including all the Warcraft Cataclysm, because that's been hogging on my computer for way too long.
Oh, you
I've
can
got
put that
all
on
the
there.
saves still. I'm gonna put it on there.
Just
If
keep it
we
there for
do
now.
tend to revive it, we can also do that, because the licensing key that we have specifically for that Cataclysm server is active for 1 year.
Okay.
So I could still restart it and have it running if I wanted to. I could still work on a server if I wanted to. Just want to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just a reminder, if any patron wants to host just a temporary weekend game, not specifically 7 Days to Die, but any game that you have on the Steam, if it's just small temporary, yes, we can also do that.
Yeah.
And then we will set it up, have it running. There's a password. I think we could also give that service to those patrons. So just
Definitely.
a reminder, if those who missed it.
Another thing is the question that Squirrel's asking, last question, when do you think this will happen? RJ?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you, when do you want me to set it up?
I think that now we've really concluded that this is a thing, and I think we will go ahead and start straight away.
Right now?
Yeah, we can start with it, but we won't be able to finish it because we've got to stream in a couple of hours.
Yeah. So not tonight, but I will actually do
It'll
some.
be started and,
I will
and progress.
start right
yeah.
now and progress with it.
Okay. So, and then we'll let you guys know on Patreon, YouTube community section, and Discord when this is happening and when this is going down. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. This is for you guys. We are doing this. We are going out of our way here to spend more money on you guys because I think it's more important that way. And it's nice that we can have a good time together. So yeah, thank you guys. Really appreciate it for everything you've done for the channel, and we'll see you on the server, especially tonight. We'll be on the server tonight. We'll be live streaming. So yeah, it might lag, but it's fine. We'll deal with it. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We'll leave the channel now, and wait, how do I stop this thing? Okay.
Oh wait, we could maybe move to the bottom channel so we can.
Yes, you guys can go all scatter and go to the hippo channel or the tiger channel, wherever you want to go. You all can go. Shoo, go away. Shoo, go.
Bye, everyone.
Shoo.
Bye.
Bye-bye.